I interviewed Jessica Gunn, a third grade teacher at Grundy Elementary School in Morton, Illinois. Jessica graduated from Bradley University with a bachelor's in elementary education and has since completed 2 master's programs from Illinois State University and the American College of Education. Jessica's position at Grundy Elementary was her first job after receiving her bachelor's, and she has been teaching there for the past 6 years. One issue Jessica faces is time, or should I say, the lack thereof it. Each teacher's schedule at Grundy includes a total of about 2 hours of teacher prep time where they can work on lessons and all other teacher duties. Unfortunately for Jessica, this is rarely the case. Meetings are frequently held during plan periods, before and after school, and even during lunch breaks and class time. Mrs. Gunn believes there are far too many meetings cutting into teacher schedules, and the majority of them are either unnecessary or irrelevant. She estimates that approximately 10 to 20% of the meetings she's required to attend are actually useful to her teaching, which is increasingly frustrating considering that these meetings pull her out of class at least 4 to 5 times every month. On top of everything else, Jessica's school has recently taken on the Framework for Teaching Evaluation Instrument by Charlotte Danielson, and teachers are now expected to participate in several activities outside of the classroom, including community and school initiatives, learning networks, workshops, and professional organizations. Jessica works with a couple of after-school programs to try and meet these expectations, and in turn has more meetings and time spent away from classroom preparation. Although her day is scheduled to end at 3:40 p.m., Jessica is working in her classroom until about 5 p.m. every evening. On top of that, she comes into her classroom at least once over the weekend to try and make up for lost time. The toll this has taken on Mrs. Gunn's class has not gone unnoticed. When pulled out of class for meetings, a substitute is scheduled to cover the lessons, resulting in inconsistent instruction for her students. Oftentimes, Jessica has to reteach the missed lessons because her students get confused by the changes in teaching styles and lack of content understanding from the substitute. On another note, Mrs. Gunn has eliminated several fun, curriculum-enriching art projects because there is not enough time. In the past, these art activities were a great source of encouragement for kids while simultaneously reinforcing class content. Jessica wishes administrators would better evaluate the importance of all the meetings and take a look at the negative effects they have on both teachers and students. Jessica is not alone in her concerns about the lack of time to teach. A 2013 study on the causes of elementary teacher stress found that the lack of both instructional time and time to complete job tasks were stressors affecting 91% of its participants. One teacher in the study stated, "As a teacher, I feel stress over the things that keep me away from giving my students the time and attention they need, such as paperwork, unexpected time out of class, and meetings that are not relevant to student progress." The majority of the teachers in this study also expressed frustrations regarding unreasonable administrator expectations for teacher workloads and extracurricular obligations. At the end of the study, Stauffer and Mason included useful strategies for administrators in recognizing and addressing the concerns of their teachers. Some of their tips included protecting the time allotted for teacher planning, avoiding classroom interruptions, and recognizing the extra efforts teachers make within their school communities outside of a formal evaluation process. I agree with both Jessica's opinions about time and the advice of Stauffer and Mason on how to avoid these problems. The ultimate goal of teaching is to help students grow in learning, and when teachers aren't given the appropriate time to instruct and prepare, a student's learning process is hindered. I understand the general idea behind Danielson's framework and can see its potential benefits. However, the expectations shouldn't be so overwhelming that they become a priority over class time. The effectiveness of instructional strategies is the top priority, especially for new teachers, and they should not be jeopardized for choosing not to take on additional commitments and focusing on their students instead.